Welcome to another episode of the Unicorn Circuit, your daily dose of car news, Fanking stories, conspiracies.
Did you just finish watching the last one and now there's another one served up fresh like a hot, melty, sugary cookie in that YouTube oven?
And did you use the code from the last video to get yourself something back? I can't even tell you what the code is because the code was only for the 38 people that got to the end of the other one. Today we've got a massive show the same size as all of them, which is moderate.
It involves a pickled cucumber.
And an implement for hitting things.
There you go. You'll have to work it out. Go watch the other one.
Martin, today we are getting back to where it started. We got Nissan and Subaru news.
Today it's all about roots.
We're not even going to waste our time with anyone else. It's Nissan and Subaru. No. Let's hit up the
Because we've got important news to talk about.
The unicorn news.
Are you going to go first with your news?
Am I going to go first? That was a long awkwardness.
No, it's good.
Okay.
I'm doing this?
Yes.
We got to talk about...
then you go.
We got to talk about Subaru, people.
I'll go. Can I start?
You start, and then I'll talk about Subaru.
Is yours good news or bad news?
Both. No, mostly bad.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but you go.
Or is yours good? No, let's do the bad news.
Let's get this out of the way. Let's get this out of the way.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we just rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first?
Yeah, ready?
Scissors, paper... Yours is going too slow.
Scissors, paper, rock. That's how you do it, isn't it?
You were doing a weird little thing. You do a full stroke.
I was doing the gherkin bat.
Scissors. No, you're going scissors, paper.
How quick did you do it?
Scissors, paper, rock.
You don't do doubles. You do singles.
Scissors.
You don't do syllables. You do words. Scissors, paper, rock.
What was I doing?
Syllables.
Scissors.
You're doing 6 and I'm doing 3. I know. That blew my mind. Have you always done that?
Yes.
Whoa. I'll do your way. It's really hard.
And I'll do yours.
Are you going to be really fast?
No, because
that doesn't work.
It does, because it's just like time signatures. A 2/4 is going to be 2 bars of 1 4/4 bar. It doesn't make the difference.
Okay.
Are you ready? I do yours, you do mine. It's a Dutch rock, paper, scissors. Are you ready?
Okay, ready?
No, everyone's gone.
No, let's go.
Okay, you ready? Okay. Scissors, paper, rock. Okay, you go first.
You always get smashed because you always do chopped.
Yeah.
It's so easy to win.
Martin, this will blow everybody's minds.
Yeah.
I can teach you how to win rock, paper, scissors.
They're all gone, man.
Okay, do you want to know how to win rock, paper, scissors?
You wait.
No, not cheating. Oh. The first one's always 50-50. This is actually,
okay.
I've done the maths on
stats.
This. Let's just go, okay? In a way that you do rock and let me do scissors, okay? Are you ready? Watch this. Scissors, paper, rock. Go again, right?
Yep.
Scissors, paper, rock. Right? So if I do what you did last time, you will win. So you know how you did rock and you won?
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Now if I do what you did the last move, you will win. So I should never do your previous move.
Oh.
That's the thing.
How do you know that?
So do the exact same thing again. So beat me with rock, right? Okay. So scissors, paper, rock. So next up, if I do rock, you want to do paper, right? Which means I need to do my same move. If I've lost, I've got to do the same one again. So go again. Scissors, paper, rock. And you're paper and I win. So whatever you lose with, do that move again.
Do we even need to do anything else today? Because I feel like...
We could save this news for tomorrow.
No, seriously, if you get into the YouTube-ness of it and you go, this method that will win every single time of... what's it called? Rachambeau or something. What do the Americans call this thing? They've got a different Rochambeau. They've got a different name for this.
Well, in Alex Kidd in Miracle World on Sega, they called it something totally different again because at the end of the diving stage where Alex Kidd had to come out, you had to play rock, paper, scissors, but they called it Shinku or something else.
Ah, there you go.
Should we just do this news tomorrow?
No, let's do this news today. I mean, people are invested this far and they've either clicked the little X and they're watching something else or they're going to... We're gonna have a little chat about Subaru, people, and the reason we're going to do this, sometimes when we're doing research for this show, a lot of research, days of research, never just 15 minutes of Googling. You type in something like Honda news, Nissan news, Toyota news, see what's coming up. Today, people, I typed in Subaru news, and I'm going to show you a screenshot of what came up.
Can I just, I agree with everything you said. Sometimes we actually chat with journalists directly.
That's true too.
And sometimes we actually speak with manufacturers directly. Yep. Sometimes we actually go down to events and get the news. I don't want people to think that we're just like Googling it and just re-spitting that out, even though that's what we're doing most of the time. A lot of the time we are getting stuff from press releases or journalists or from the manufacturers.
That's
a quality news
for anyone who's interested in that side of things. That's how you usually get
the
most recent news is like a press release because something's happened, they release it, then you'll see it everywhere all over the news, including this. So I typed in Subaru news because I just wanted to see what they're up to. Subaru news. And so I got like a couple of news articles from various car websites or whatever. And then as I scroll down, it says, people also ask, why are Subarus so unreliable?
Is that the top search term?
That's the people also ask. It says, one of the core reasons the Subaru reliability has dropped is due to the problems that Outback and Legacy have had with in-car technology. I don't even particularly agree with that, but anyway, then it comes up. Is Subaru quality declining? Are Subarus still reliable? What's the most reliable Subaru model? What year Subaru is the best? That's the stuff that comes up when you search for it. And why is it that it's straight away about reliability? Subaru owners will tell you that they're just as reliable as any other car, and people that are Subaru haters will tell you that they're weak and have weak engines and you can't make power with them. Both are true.
I was about to say both are not true.
Well, both are not true.
Because there's evidence all over the intervals of neither of those things being true.
Of strengthening it. But anyway, this is what your average Joe who is just typing in Subaru news or should I buy a Subaru, that's what they're being confronted with straight away as a people also ask, which is usually featured when you look something up. So, interesting. I got some more Subaru stuff. Do you want it all in one go? Or should we have a little refresher?
Is there more Subaru stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we insert it with something good?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Nissan 400Z, pricing's been released in Japan, 7 million yen. Now, I think that's a reasonable price, but it's way higher than a lot of people expected. To do the conversion on that, that's around $86,000, $87,000. That's putting you up at RS3 kind of price territory.
I never believed it when people said it was going to be 40. I'm like,
well,
how could
they
it
are
be?
the number. Originally, it was meant to be MX-5 kind of competitive pricing, and I went, it's not going to be a cheap car.
And they would have hated it if it was. Trust me, they would have got him going, the interior feels cheap and the panels don't feel good in the mat, and they just whinge about it.
It is not a competitor to the BRZ, and I can tell you now, even though videos don't exist yet, you get the new BRZ, you get the 400Z, you put them on a track. What's going to happen, Martin?
I have no idea.
Really?
Well, I guess, is the 400Z turbo?
Yeah.
Well, then it'll win.
And 6-speed and manual.
Okay,
and
it'll
like
win,
the BRZ is going to get thrashed.
Probably.
You know what? Let's just throw it down. Which car would you have out of those two, by the way?
400Z.
No. Which car would you have out of those two?
BRZ.
Exactly. So...
I wouldn't.
Let's just pretend you would have the BRZ.
No. I'm never going to own a BRZ.
Okay. Just...
Why would you want a BRZ?
Oh, this is not the section where I get to tell you what to say, like the legal... Anyway, eventually Marty will end up in a BRZ.
No.
No, just for the day. I'll buy you one. And then return it, like I did with my M3. and then I'll get in my 400Z.
And I'll get in my 400Z.
No,
mine's going to be blue. His is going to be a
BRZ.
different colour.
Mine's black. I already ordered one.
Did you? A black one?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
And-
Really? The black looks so good.
Yeah.
Not quite as good as the blue,
Yeah,
but I'm glad you got the black.
I know, because we had this before. You always
tell you not to buy blue
Marty
cars.
tells me which car looks best based on which colour of the car he wants.
All the time.
Like when I got my GR Yaris, he's just like, the white ones are shit, so that when you got your GR Yaris, his one was white. They're stuck with a red piece of shit. Anyway, where are we going? None of that was true. It was all a dream. What are we talking about? Anyway, Marty will get in his BRZ, I'll get in a 400Z, I'll spank it. I'll show you. And everyone knows it. It's not a surprise. The point is they're not they're not in the same league.
No, and
that's the end of the news.
$80,000 is reasonably serious money. And anyone who's like thinking about those new Supras, I mean, aren't they nearly 100 grand? Or I don't actually know how much they are, but I know they're a lot. And it makes sense that that's a similar class of car. But you're asking 80 grand for something, and then you can buy an RS3 with all the tech, the crazy gearbox, four-wheel drive, you know, all the as much power, and it starts to become a bit tricky because people go, yeah, but I love Japanese coupes and it looks amazing. How much is the looks amazing going to make up for the 30 grand of value you're not getting?
Does the new Supra look amazing?
I don't. I think the front good, rear bad. We've had this.
Yeah,
we've asked a few people, and people.
I prefer the previous looking ones with the nice tail lights with the little segments in it. Like they just look awesome.
Look good. And
Not
I
massively
think the
into
front, yeah, but the back, no. And some people think Supras look amazing. I think the back looks like that old grumpy cat meme.
It does, and I think some people are not happy with how the rear end of the 400Z looks because they're like, oh, it's a bit old. But I actually think it looks like that future modern Japanese manga Astro Boy. What do you call that kind of like reverse future stuff? Like it's retro futuristic. I think it looks fantastic. But I grew up playing Segas.
That's as retro futuristic as you're going to get for the moment, because even people like Subaru, to bring it back to them from Nissan, have said that there's going to be electrification in every Subaru from 2030. People, that's like 7.5 years away.
Did you have to check your watch to see what year it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just habit. When I talk about time or years and stuff, it's like good to check it. But the reason is, so you know, your WRXs, your turbo things, whatever, they're going to apply electrification. They haven't said that everything's going electric like some other manufacturers, but they said we're applying electrification. I think that's interesting because you're going to see things like Rexys and STIs and even these 400Zs. At some stage, you're going to go, it's also got an electric motor, it's also hybrid, so it brings down their emissions and it brings up their efficiency and all these things, targets that the government's going to make them hit. The cars will still be cool, but I reckon there's, and we've spoken before, there's going to be a lull of, this is going to be some cool petrol-only stuff. Then we're going to go, oh, what's going on? Let's work it out. Okay, we can still make money, bang, and then they're going to make some cool stuff again.
Is the Mark 9 Golf R going to have the EA888 2-litre engine in it? No. Is the 8.5? Yes, I guess, because they'll update some things, but we're at peak petrol performance right now.
And some people, some manufacturers like Subaru, for example, are now finally coming to the party with their prototype electric stuff where they've gone, yeah, we're doing it. Basically, they're just trying to build a Model 3, but what they're doing is building a Tesla Model 3 that looks like a Subaru SUV. Guess what, people? They electrify SUVs first because that's what people buy.
Would you rather have a Subaru electric car?
No.
Okay.
I'm never buying another Subaru. What?
What?
Why? What? I'm just not buying a Subaru.
Ever?
No. No. So what's interesting about this is it's called the Subaru. I'm going to show you a photo. It's called the Subaru Solterra. And yeah, I'm good. It combines the Latin words for sun and earth. Cool. And it's built on the e-Subaru platform. Expect to see a lot of cars on the... What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
I got a little hair on there or something?
I was just... No, I mean...
That's when you're old, you get hairs.
Yeah, no, I was just let me check something. Keep talking.
No, it's going to be awkward.
No, it won't.
Are you going to hurt?
No.
So they're applying...
This is how you know we're friends.
We're applying electrification to... Oh, was it a long one? Thanks, I think. Applying electrification to Subarus all sold by 2030. We don't get a timeline for Australia. Too bad, so sad, not at all unexpected. It's their first battery electric vehicle. Here's the thing though. The first bit of the press release, back to the press releases, says the seamlessly... This is the first thing they say about their new car.
So much
The
Subaru.
seamlessly shaped hexagon grille expresses the energy efficiency of battery electric vehicle. The body with horizontal axis starting from the hexagon and the dynamic fenders bulging out from the inside to show the strength as an SUV.
See,
Does that not get you like seriously motivated in your...
No. Not at all.
But those words, like someone wrote, that's the poetry.
Someone wrote it, but what I can tell you is, and someone out there knows who wrote it because maybe someone sent them this video, that wasn't written by the engineers who designed it. It wasn't written by the people who put the car into like a wind tunnel and go, how can we make it right? It wasn't written by anybody that had anything to do with that car at all.
That's true.
It was written by a person who was paid to go, can you sell our thing?
Yeah.
And they go, let's talk about it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the nature of how advertising works. You want to try and... I mean, advertising is not about trying to sell things. It's about trying to influence people with ideas, and hopefully as part of that, doesn't have to... People think advertising is about sales. You can advertise politics. You can advertise ideas, you know, but...
Advertising is about fear, right? You're going to miss out on this, so you better get this thing.
Well, there's part of it. There's a kernel in there, but hopefully what it is, it's about trying to... look, I'm not an advertiser, but trying to convince people to inspire some action. That there, I read it and I just go, that's a bunch of bullshit.
So here's a question to the engineers, because this is something I actually don't understand. So they talk about in their press release, all at the top of it, all drive, symmetrical all drive. We're the experts in all drive. We know everything to do with all drive. And then when you get to the specs, it says you want front wheel drive or all drive.
No, what?
You can choose. Here's the bit I really don't understand though. So it's available all drive or front wheel drive, but if you look at the specs, in the front wheel drive one, you get a 150 kilowatt motor in the front of it, right? Which means they can fit a 150 kilowatt motor in the front. That's good power.
Yes.
An all drive one, you get 80 in the front and 80 in the back.
Oh. Why wouldn't they just leave the
160? Why not just leave the 150? Why not put 250 motors? If there was, this is where...
Because it costs less.
I know it costs less, but here's the thing. So you make this thing, you've got the platform, it says it's built on a platform. We know you've got the 150 kilowatt motors. We know it's running 355 volts and it's a 70 kilowatt hour battery. That's like Tesla specs sort of thing. That voltage, that battery pack. Why not put a 150 in the front, 150 in the back, called a 300 kilowatt EWRX and sell them? And people go, holy shit, Subaru's done some cool shit. Let's buy them. Let's get excited. Like, this is not exciting to anyone who's into cars, but I guess that's not who they're trying to sell cars to.
It can't look like that if it's going to excite people.
No.
So, like, just the general... I'm not saying there's any problem with the way that it looks, but in terms of the excitement level of cars generally is on the decline. Some examples that don't fit into that, the Civic Type R. I'm not into it, but I like that they've done something bold and... Like, I don't like it, but I like that they've done it. Because everyone else is getting a bit too
And look, what do I know?
iPhone-y.
For all I know, there is a 300 kilowatt EWX coming and they just can't talk about it yet. But I mean, like, I'd be leading with that. I'd be going, here's, like, remember that sort of thing? It was always the hero car. PS, all these other cars are based on it.
And then you're going to have a look at them, and then while you're there, you buy a Forester.
Yeah, because you look at it and go, oh, it's got the same all-wheel drive, and the salesperson will go, oh, that's got the same all-wheel drive thing. It doesn't have the turbo, but you don't really need it if you're just going to go up and down your farm driveway. And people go, yeah, cool, I'll buy that. Ka-ching. Yet everyone else is like, STIs and WXs win rallies. Isn't that cool? That's it. Sorry, no more Subaru talk this week. I promise.
Okay. Martin, time to move on to, is that even legal? This week on Is That Even Legal? Martin, do you like walking?
Yeah.
Yep. If you were on the side of the road and you had to get to the other side of the road, like the chicken from the joke, would you want to walk over there?
Yep.
Illegal in Australia unless the green person is green.
It's the green man's flashing.
I did not know that that was such a big deal to so many people until I started looking around.
Jaywalking.
That people are going, oh, in Australia, if there's no cars coming, if it's midnight and there are no cars coming, but you press the button and there's a little red person on there. We call them a red man. Sorry, I know it's 2022, but we don't call them a red person. Normally people call it a red man because it looks like a man. That's just what it is.
There's a red person up there.
But there's a red person up there.
The image of no, it's not a person. It's the graphic.
It's the iconography
of a person.
of a person.
Yes, a humanoid figure.
Yes.
Are we cancelled from that?
Will
we get cancelled because of that?
No. Okay. We didn't design it.
I know, but
we're documenting the reality of what's on the street.
Okay.
It's.
Dude, I just looked at your screen there, and it's got a Mighty Car Mods thing up there. I can see it, and it says number of episodes 565. Is that true?
A lot of this stuff is not true.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Sorry.
If it's the middle of the night, you're on a road, there's no cars, you can't cross it until you press the button and wait for it to go, then you can cross. There it is.
Or if you're in Japan, bing, 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 bing.
And then it
anyone
counts
who's been
down.
to Japan has now got that
Counts
sound
down.
in it.
Anyway, Martin, have we got any crap cars this week? This day?
No.
No? Great. Well, we're moving straight on to Tinfoil Hat Cat.
This week on Tinfoil Hat Cat, we've got a conspiracy about fuel, people. Because at the
Not
moment...
about electricity, Martin. Not about electric
Not about
cars?
electricity. No, it's about the fuel that you put in your car as a liquid. And some people may have noticed, in Australia particularly, that fuel prices have gone absolutely bonkers. And what made me notice this was I was filling up Supergrants and I noticed that ethanol was $1.65 a litre. Now, it's been $1.65 a litre for ages. And I don't fill that often because, I truck it and drive it around occasionally, but I'm not putting like hundreds of Ks on it a week. So... And I logged it and how much it was spending $1.69 for ages. Then I looked at the unleaded number, which I almost never buy, and it was like nearly $2.
Oh, right.
And then I noticed as I was driving back, there was a line of cars on the other side of the road, which is another servo that's generally like 10 cents cheaper and it's always busy. But the line was like a kilometre long and people were waiting for ages to save 10 cents on fuel. And it made me realise, okay, maybe there's some kind of shortage or why the price is so high. And
they do that in the UK all the time. They're always announcing there's fuel shortages, fuel thingos.
And because of the pandemic and other reasons, obviously a lot of people weren't driving. So potentially, well, the conspiracy is that the manufacturers, there was a surplus of fuel. They were holding the fuel in their giant tanks. The fuel eventually goes stale and goes off. So instead, they artificially create a shortage or the idea of a shortage so people panic buy heaps of fuel. The price goes up, everyone makes lots of profit, and then they get to refill their big things with fresh fuel.
Oh, so you're just going about your normal day, and then a press release goes from the government, potentially,
maybe,
or something's leaked that says there's a fuel shortage.
Yes.
Guess what? Everyone goes and fills up their car with the old fuel because they've got so much surplus because of the pandemic. They're worried it'll go off.
Yeah, and I think the reasoning for the fuel shortage is they ran out of shipping containers and they were trying to fill the shipping containers and there weren't enough shipping containers because normally a shipping container gets filled up and sometimes it leaks through the door and then leaks. Isn't that how they transport fuel?
No, mate, that goes in a tanker.
Oh.
I believed you then.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
No.
I have no
Martin,
idea.
I think that's a conspiracy that I'm going out there and saying I think that could actually be plausible.
Well, some sort of market manipulation between governments and major fuel suppliers, and you as the user are sort of just coming along for the ride like a wave on the ocean, where they've just gone, oh, this needs to change. And I know that fuel prices are controlled by oil barrel per prices and how much they pull out of various Middle Eastern countries and America and all that sort of stuff. So I know it's probably bigger macroeconomics going on there, but yeah, maybe not.
Martin, maybe they need to blockchain fuel to make everybody responsible, because at the moment I gather there's just a couple of players, whether they're governmental people or whatever, that are in charge of controlling all of that. Whereas when you blockchain something, doesn't everyone have equal access and control to the thing?
In theory they do, but
what if there was a Bitcoin equivalent of fuel?
Some would argue that decentralization is just redistributing and re-centralizing to different players,
different entities,
move power away from different places. And yeah, look, it's before you know it, there's going to be solar panels everywhere, and no one's going to care about this stuff unless it's in an airplane or a tanker or a truck. So in the next little while,
great.
So people with electric car don't care. They're plugging in their solar panels at home and driving around, and they don't even know what the petrol price is.
Good conspiracy, Martin. Next up, we're moving on to Fanking.
Fanking is the delightful art of recontextualizing a product by holding it down near your crotch. It's extremely highbrow, and our fank tank's a bit low. I'm going to be honest. We got a bit excited with our fanking yesterday, and we fanked everywhere, and there was a lot of fanking going on.
Yes, there was too much.
And a little bit too much. So now we've only got, how many fanks do we have?
We've got a runner-up and a winner today.
So 2 fanks.
Can you please right now go down to your local store before tomorrow's episode? I'm not even joking. As soon as you finish today's episode, please go and fank yourself silly.
Go to your cupboard or your pantry and see what you can come up with.
Hardware stores are excellent. Pet food stores are excellent,
yes.
And supermarkets, of course. Anyway,
keeps things exciting.
We have 2 fanks today. Runners up is damp wood. Now, we haven't seen that before, but Martin, that's an excellent segue.
It's wrapped.
To what happened to you.
Oh, we can talk about that?
Are we allowed to?
Yeah, we are, because it's reality. It's what happened, and it's exactly this.
Martin had a damp wood experience on his face. It's true. A complete stranger damp wooded his face.
So
right,
I was going for a swim, right? Because it's good exercise, whatever. It's
I don't
good.
know how to swim.
Apparently, it's good for you. If you got I got working on cars 20 years straight. My back hurts, so I swim. Apparently,
I told you I can't swim, mate.
Yeah, you can swim.
I can float and doggy paddle, but I don't know how to put my head down.
Anyway, so apparently it's good for your back. It's kind of boring, but it works. Anyway,
back to the damp wood.
Go for a swim. Good. I literally swim so I can work on cars. Hey, like that's why, mate. I'm like, I don't feel like it. Oh, I'm gonna go so I can work on cars all day. Anyway, so I went and I had my mask on because you have to wear a mask when you go to the pool, get changed, whatever. I walked into the change thing, and as I opened the door, there's like a little corridor, and then there's some basins, and I think they've got hair dryers on the wall, and there's this old dude in a towel, which just happens sometimes at these places.
And he had damp wood.
Well, apparently, because I heard the hairdryer, and I was sort of looking down in my own world, and I heard the hairdryer, so I assumed someone's drying their hair. And then I felt a blast of air on my face, like that, as I walked past, and I looked across, and old mate has his leg up on the bench, and a hairdryer like this.
Yes.
And he's drying his balls. And then as I
didn't, you copped it from behind.
I didn't kind of realise what was happening, and then I got a blast of air in my face and looked across, and he's like, just looking at me. Yeah. It was one of the most.
Did he make eye contact?
Yes.
Did he hold it for a few seconds?
Too long. But it was one of the most awkward experiences of my entire life, and let's just say I was happy that they had a mask rule where I was, because otherwise I would have copped a face full of fresh, unfiltered air.
He needed to wear that mask probably on his balls.
But what, is this a thing? Is drying yourself with a hairdryer a thing? Because I don't have hair, so I don't use a hairdryer.
I don't use a hairdryer.
But, maybe we need to write, maybe the comments just needs to have like a word that if people write that word, it means yes, they are known to dry their bodies using a hairdryer.
Yeah. I think if the comment is...
Swampy crotch rot.
No, I was thinking making it simple. HDB. Hairdryer balls.
Hairdryer balls.
Can we just get a bit of a thing? If it says HDB in the comment, then you are someone who HDBs.
And no one will know, unless they've watched and got to this section, which is only
through.
37 people will know, next to your little username thing, that you are a hair dry person. And if old mate who was at the swimming place writes HDB, I mean, he has to, doesn't he? If he logs on and watches this, and next time I see him, he's going to be like, Unicorn Circuit viewer number 38.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I put on a G-string once backwards accidentally. I worn a G-string once. Have you ever worn one?
No.
Okay, so...
Why?
So I wore a disposable G-string. Like you wear it once and throw it out. It was
what for? I don't want to know.
No, it was a medical thing, by the way.
God.
It was a medical thing. And so anyway, I'm pretty sure I've told this story before anyway. So I was handed a paper G-string by the nurse. She's like, put this on, and then she comes back in, and I'm like, is this right? And there's basically a steak wrapped with a bit of dental floss. And she's like, it's on backwards. Because I remember sitting there thinking, why would anyone wear this? My butt's covered, but then my balls just have one piece of string going up through the middle. I was like, why do people wear this shit?
And when you go to the shops and buy a roast beef, and it's just a string around.
Anyway, that's it. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, we've only showed you one. Fank of the week.
Oh, what is that? That is brilliant. Is that it's even funnier because it's golfing, by the way.
Is that what that is? Is that golfing?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
It's supposed to say the 9th hole, the 19th hole, 19 of them in a row. Is that why old mate's smiling?
I would have never guessed that that's what it says.
Is that why old mate's smiling? Because there's been 19 holes in a row?
Is that the end of the show? Shall we just finish up now?
No, we need to put something in our mouths.
Okay, but is there any other towns or anything?
Dude, people are not.
Okay,
they are
we actually had a mytown. We're going to save it for tomorrow. So let's just run the mailbag. Mailbag.
Oh, mailbag.
Or do we do it tomorrow? Man, we've got a whole week. Do it tomorrow. Let's just finish up. It's a really good. I don't know why it's open. It's a really good mailbag. Okay, run the graphics. This week on Mailbag, we're opening one item. If you'd like to send us something, you can send it to Mighty Car Mods or the Unicorn Circuit, PO Box 475, Sydney Markets 2129.
Well, this is I don't know if we've opened this before because I could go back and watch another Unicorn Circuit. It's Merry Christmas. B&M, Merry Christmas. Your Christmas hype blog video hit the nail on the head. Oh, remember when we talk about Christmas?
Were we?
On Unicorn Circuit?
Oh, just saying there's a load of rubbish.
Saying that, it's not, for everyone, it's not always as, Christmas card as people want to.
Oh, good.
That was legit heartfelt. Whilst I can't or won't mow your lawn, I will say a huge thank you for what you've done to our screens and wish you both all the best for us. Hopefully a less effed up 2022. From the bunch of nutters behind the scenes at Iron Chef Imports.
Oh, thanks.
Legends.
So if you don't know who Iron Chef are, they are probably one of the most recognisable, known and probably trusted people that do importation stuff for cars from Japan. They've got a really active Facebook page with lots of stuff on it, and we've dealt with them before on stuff. And this here,
and this is cool because this is the calendar, the Iron Chef Imports calendar, and I like it already because it's got a K-truck on the front of it. And a crown. I'm pretty sure these guys are like suckers for crowns.
What else?
And if any of you are watching who are Iron Chef Imports people, crowns are awesome.
Truck 86. There's an Audi RS4, I think.
That's an
awesome.
early RS4. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Good job, you made something. Well done, people.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for sending us that.
And everyone just lost their minds. Oh my god, it's a stamped crown. It's so what is it? Well, they say it's gangster in Japan, and then everyone thinks that gangsters in Japan drive crowns.
Bullshit.
They drive imports. They drive Mercedes and Beamers and Euros.
Well,
and
when
stuff.
we were there, everybody was in Volkswagens, remember? And they were like surprised that we like Japanese cars because they preferred imports.
What?
And imports were Volkswagens.
Thanks. Going up in the toilet. Cheers.
In Random Eat Bag, we try and eat some stuff. I don't know why. Does anyone watch this segment?
I don't know.
Does anybody watch it? This week.
I watch it to remember the flavourings.
Is that a seaweed roll?
Oh God, I hope not.
I think it's a seaweed.
I'm using my will not eat card if it's seaweed because I'll yak it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's seaweed wrapped in chocolate.
Pretty sure it's out of date too.
It doesn't matter. It expired. It was only a year ago. We've had it for a while. It is seaweed and chocolate.
Really? Are you gonna do it? You gonna go there?
Sweet? Is that meant to be sweet? Anyway, it's a Japanese snack. Sorry, this is a rubbish segment without me actually telling you what it is. I can't read what it is.
Can't read it at all.
All I can tell you is it's from Japan. It smells like seaweed and chocolate, and it expired a year ago. Martin?
No. No, I don't.
That's the strangest thing I've ever eaten. It has
I get it though. I get why. I don't really like salty, sweety caramel stuff like that's really popular. I don't really rate it. That's like a salted caramel seaweed bar. But that texture is like eating like berry floss almost, isn't it?
It's very odd.
That's surprisingly weird.
Everybody,
the seaweed. That's the smell of seaweed I can't do.
that was another.
Yeah.
I mean, seaweed. I only have inappropriate things to say. That was it for another day. How are you enjoying the daily episodes, by the way? Who am I talking to? There's no one there. There's no one there.
That's it.
Thank you very much. That was it for another day. We'll be back tomorrow, believe it or not.
We will.
Because in case you missed the news headline, we're doing Unicorn Circuit daily this year.
Until we get to episode 100.
Which I say daily this year. It's for about...
It's very close. We're going to film them daily and then we're going to put them out over 6 months.
All right, thanks everybody. See you later.
Oh, I'm going to go for a swim.
Unicorn Circuit.